Actress Diane Lane made a name for herself on the big screen. She appeared in popular movies like, you remember Unfaithful? How about Under the Tuscan Sun? And The Perfect Storm. Her very first movie was A Little Romance when she was just 13 years old. Wow, look at you, Diane Lane. A lot of hair. Now Lane, still got a lot of hair. Now Lane is starring in the revival of The Cherry Orchard on Broadway. She plays a woman who returns to her family's estate to stop its foreclosure. Her character opposes some ideas to save their property, including getting rid of its cherry orchard.
Chop it down. My dear, forgive me, but you don't seem to understand a thing. In this part of the country, if there's anything noteworthy or even of interest, it's our cherry orchard.
Our cherry orchard. Diane joins us now. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
I was there Saturday, row H, seat 115. Did you see me? I was the one going, yo, Diane! But congratulations, because you were first in this play as a little girl.
That's true.
And now you're back and you get to speak.
I get to speak in a Chekhov play. I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful. It's an amazing experience. A lot of adrenaline. A lot of adrenaline.
Tell us about your character this time, because back then Meryl Streep was you played
Meryl
a
played
ghost.
Dunyasha.
Yes.
She was a fantastic. And today we have Susanna Flood, who is our amazing Dunyasha in this production. I mean, every character is a classic in this show because it's a wonderful opportunity for actors to show comedy that you don't even realize is there in the writing. It blooms in the care of wonderful directors, and this adaptation by Stephen Karam is bringing it more to the people in terms of accessibility.
Does the language make it easier or harder?
Smart question. Both, because there's so much truth in the words, and it's not quite Shakespearean pentameter, but you do have to time your inhales to make your point.
And the idea of Shakespeare, it equates here as well. This play's over 100 years old, the last of Chekhov's plays. Why do you think it resonates still?
I think it's been on Broadway 10 times in the last 100 years, and the reason is because it deals so much with our human foibles, and we get to laugh at ourselves and see ourselves in these various characters, and just have some kind of we despise human nature as much as we adore human nature, and we feel compassion and we feel disdain, and
at the same time.
At the same time, and we see that history does repeat itself endlessly, and we are trapped in a beautiful play all the time.
And it's hard to top Chekhov.
Yes.
You say, despite all your experience, you say being on the stage still terrifies you. How is that possible?
Well, how
with all
is it
that
not
you do?
Possible? I mean, it is a high wire act. I mean, they say
Every
the
day.
adrenaline of theater people is the same or more than people who jump out of airplanes, and I would never do that. That's not my idea of a thrill. But there is a connectivity with a live audience that is delicious, and you feel their energy, and it's a two-way street, and it is interactive. And
Do you wish you'd done more theater?
Well, I've done my share. I've done some good stuff over the years in terms of theater.
But you also continue to make films.
Yes, and I love it. It's a very different medium, as you know. The weird thing about film, which I don't really care for, is that I'm always surprised when I see the film. One way or another, I'm always surprised.
But you were there when they were making it.
Isn't that weird?
But not in the editing room.
But not in the editing room, that's true.
Yeah, right.
And a lot can change in the editing room.
Yes, I always joke and say I have an editor on my altar, not...
The energy expended. I mean, and it's anything but average, but the average week of your schedule.
8 shows.
I mean, it's...
Well, with
what is it to constantly get back up for that
It's interesting that you say that, because as a cast, we hold hands before the curtain, and we're backstage, and you know, this beautiful group of people that I am merely a humble part of, and I get to be the poster girl. And yes, it is very much Madame Renyevskaya's story. She is the one whose family this cherry orchard belongs to, but we as a group go through this as a team sport. We hold hands, and I swear lightning bolts are going through our hands as we approach it together, and we are connected like an umbilical cord between us, because you have to be prepared for anything. Props, and now with the changes that are happening in previews, that's hair-raising. That's probably what you got the quote about being scared of, because changes are happening to props and costumes and lighting and words and actions and so many things in the process of rehearsal during the day, and then we employ it and try it out at night in front of 750 people.
No, but the
So-
people go nuts the minute you walk out on the stage. It's instant applause for you. so
Oh,
bravo.
yes. Well,
But
that doesn't happen at home, so it's nice.
Applause
My
would be
cat
nice.
can't applaud.
Diane Lane, thank you so much.
All right, have a great day. Love your show.
You
Thank you
too.
for having
Thank
me
you.
on.
Thank you.
The Cherry Orchard will play on Broadway until December the 4th.